But the settlement that's getting the most attention was the Vladimir Guerrero settlement. All of the times I've gone on the Blair and Barker show, I miss you guys, by the way. We've talked so often up in Canada about Vladimir Guerrero, whether or not the Blue Jays should give him a long-term contract. And for years, for 5 years, I have said, no, you do not want to pay Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because he will not give you any sort of discount. He and his family do not need the money. You will not be able to take advantage of him. So therefore, you're going to have to pay him as though he is the best player in baseball, and he has had spotty performance. The Blue Jays were able to settle with him yesterday, and they are paying him $28.5 million. When you are in your final year of arbitration eligibility, you are able to choose any player in baseball as your comp. When you are a first or second time arbitration eligible player, you can only choose first and second time arbitration eligible players and what money they got as your comps, as your comparables. But in your final year of arbitration, under the collective bargaining agreement, you're allowed to use free agent numbers. You're allowed to use any numbers you want of any player. Vladimir Guerrero in the open market at $28.5 million is a reasonable settlement for the Blue Jays and for Vladimir. That settlement does not mean that the Blue Jays are more or less apt to sign him to a long-term deal. It actually is not correlated in any way to what their plan is. What it only shows you is that when you can't come to an agreement on a long-term deal with a pending free agent, you say, let's table the talks of extension and of free agent deals, and let's start focusing on a one-year deal. You do that with about 7 days to go before the exchange date. That's when you switch your philosophy and you say, all right, let's not talk about the 7 years, 300 or the 10 years, 500. Let's just think about this one-year deal. And then you start negotiating and talking about Juan Soto was at 31. Shohei Ohtani was at 30. Guerrero slots in under those two players. So somewhere around 27 to 29 is where it should end up. And then you get a settlement of 28.5. It makes absolutely perfect sense why the Blue Jays and Guerrero both would have done this. And I can tell you that if the Blue Jays are smart, they will tell Vladimir from the first day of spring training that they are cutting off any negotiations for a long-term deal. Don't do a Hal Steinbrenner, hey, we'd be happy to talk during the season to Juan Soto. That doesn't work. You want Vladimir focused on having a healthy, unbelievable season. Let him try to get Ohtani and Soto money. Let him try to beat Judge, beat all the position players. Let him sky right past any first base or designated hitter contracts. Because what it means is that he will have had a healthy, productive platform year, and that gives the Blue Jays the best chance to succeed as a team in that very tough AL East division.